Hi everyone. Okay, hello. Today we are going to talk about tube amps, real tube amps. Yes. And if you followed this channel for a while, you know that I don't typically use tube amps for really two reasons. The first reason is for convenience. The second reason is because tube amps affect my playing. They really do. And I think they affect anyone's playing. Depending on what you're playing through, whether it's a tube amp or a digital modeler, it responds differently. I'm not saying that one is better than the other, and we're not even getting into the convenience argument. We're just going out of feel. It feels different to play through a tube amp or to play through a digital processor. And yes, technology has gone a long way. Digital modelers are very close to tube amps, but it's still a little bit different. And not saying that it's better or worse, but because it's different, it's going to affect your ability to play this thing. And that's what's happening to me. Because of the convenience factor, working from home, working in a rented space and all that, well, I want to minimize noise, so I got the best thing I could get as far as the digital world, and that's the Axe-Fx 2, which I still love. But I wanted to challenge myself. I've been wanting to challenge myself for a little while to bring out new things in my playing through tube amps, but I still wanted the convenience. So that started a quest, looking for a real tube amp that I could use in this environment. And that quest led me to talk to the guys at Hughes and Kettner at GitCon a couple months ago. And they showed me their Grandmeister Deluxe 40, which is this one right here. At GitCon a couple months ago in Germany, that's pretty much the only amp I used because it was so easy to find a good tone, and well, that's why really. It's just so easy. So I used it throughout the week, and I got my own now. This is the Grandmeister Deluxe 40, and it's going to be very useful for 2018. The project that I have is for the next album. I wanted to incorporate some real tube amps and see what it could do for my playing. And one thing that I really like about this is its ability to not only use the built-in cab simulations in there, which is what I'm using right now. This is plugged straight into my sound card. So I have the full advantage of using the tubes. It's still, it gets that feel, but I can plug straight into my sound card here. And this is cool. This is a good example because my playing is not very, very smooth because I'm playing through something different, a real analog circuit. It affects pretty much everything. But not only can it do that, and in the back you have a few options. You can choose a modern cab, a vintage cab, a large cab, a small cab. I think those are the only options you have. It sounds great, I think. But you can bypass that if you want and go straight into your sound card or straight into a box like this one, the 2-note Torpedo Studio, which I recently got, which I'll talk to you about soon. But basically, you can go through something like this or through a software, and that will allow you to use other IRs, other cab simulations, and that's a whole new box that you can open. But that's the option that this thing gives you. Let's talk a little bit about the amp itself. So I'm going to use the built-in cabs right now, and then we'll use some of the Torpedo. Actually, not the Torpedo. We'll use the Wall of Sound, which is a software. I still need to plug the Torpedo in. But let's talk a little bit about the amp. So the amp is a 4-channel amp. I'm going to switch to the clean channel right now. And I'm using a knob right now to control this. That's what you see me here. But of course, I can tweak things here if I want. But we have a clean channel. You can adjust the gain. So right now there's a little bit of gain going on. But I can tweak that, reduce the gain a little bit. 3-band EQ. So we have, treble, mids, bass, typical stuff, right? We have a crunch channel. And again, you can adjust anything you want on the crunch channel as far as the EQ and all that. Right now the gain is about 1/3. Increase the gain a little bit. All the way up, this is what you get on the crunch channel. It makes for a great rock rhythm tone. Okay, then we have a lead tone, which, you know, we'll offer a little more gain. So here's the lead tone. My gain is all the way up. And finally, there is the ultra channel, which offers the most gain that you can possibly get out of this amp. Here's the ultra channel. So here is where I think this amp is awesome. I can bypass in the back that cab simulation, which I'll do right now. Now that the cab sim is bypassed, it's going to sound horrible. It sounds like this. Okay, not what you would typically want, but that's where we're going to use the Two Notes Engineering Wall of Sound, which offers tons of different IRs and different configurations. I've got a preset here that I loaded. So now here's the Grandmeister Deluxe going through the Torpedo Wall of Sound. This is a 2-cab setup. Running the Grandmeister that way really allows me to blend both worlds together. The convenience of recording at home, the convenience of not being locked into, you know, one mic position or one cabinet, but I can run this through the digital stuff, and I think that's really the key that was missing to me using real amps. Now I have all this at home. I'm using the real amp. It's still affecting my playing a lot because it responds a little differently. Allowing me to be more expressive, like when I'm hitting a note, I get a lot of different tones out of that note, which again, the digital modelers do that, but not exactly. So that's the advantage of that, but also, you know, I don't have to mic anything. I don't have to start a session one day and then come back to the next day to find that the microphone was kicked or bumped or anything like that, and I love that. So that being said, you're going to hear more of the Grandmeister Deluxe 40 and then the few videos to come, the next videos, and I love it. It's awesome. I'm going to try to actually blend this with the Fractal. I kind of want to run these two different amps, the real tube amp, the Grandmeister Deluxe, and the Fractal right and left through this awesome pedal that I reviewed a little while back, the TC Electronic Mimic, which allows me to use two different sources and record just with one guitar and double that. I think it's going to be awesome. I'll experiment with that. And that's what I had for you today. Check it out. Hughes and Kettner Grandmeister Deluxe 40. It's an awesome amp. It sounds great. And I'll just play a little more for you guys. Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. 3 videos every single week. Yep.